Namaste everyone, this is Lakshmi again. I welcome you all for another poem of Sylvia Plath, The Applicant, which is given in the supplementary section of Book 10. I have again included the introduction of Sylvia Plath here as a revision. You can go through it if you want to. Now, The Applicant. Applicant was written on October 11th, 1962 and was published in the London Magazine on 17 January 1963 and appeared in the book Ariel in 1965, which has become classic volume full of powerful poetry despite or because of the controversy surrounding its content and editorship. The summary of the poem Applicant is: it explores the meaning of marriage, gender stereotype, and social pressures by using the framework of an interview in which the speaker questions the applicant, a male. As the poem progresses, it becomes apparent that the male interviewee is being given a chance to own something, namely a wife. The wife is a commodity here, a thing of the marketplace, and the applicant has to be the right sort of person to receive it. The poem is a free verse poem. It has 8 stanzas, 40 lines in total, each stanza having 5 lines called quinting. The literary devices used in the poem are alliteration, enjambment, and imagery. Let us move on with the poem. Now, as usual, I'll be reading the stanza first and then explain it briefly, and I have also highlighted some of the words for your convenience so that you will remember it easily. First, are you a sort of a person? Do you wear a glass eye, false teeth, or a crutch, a brace or a hook, rubber breasts or a rubber crotch? And the first stanza starts with a question, as in an interview, asking about prosthetic body parts such as glass eye, false teeth, a crutch, a brace or a hook, rubber breasts or rubber crotch. Checking whether the applicant is the right person for the job at hand. Stitches to show something's missing? No. Then how can we give you a thing? Stop crying. Open your hand. Empty? Here is a hand to fill it and willing to bring teacups and roll away headaches and do whatever you tell it. Will you marry it? Now the speaker asks if the applicant is missing something, and the applicant answers he is missing nothing, which puzzles the speaker because the male applicant is not missing anything. So the speaker says, how can they give him anything? The applicant gets hurt of rejection and he starts crying. The speaker doesn't tolerate tears. This is a business deal, no place for emotion. The speaker says, then open your hand, and the hand is empty. Now the interviewer or the speaker says, here is a hand to fill the empty hand. Now this hand can be of a wife who is willing to do whatever he wants her to do. It is willing to bring teacups and to help roll away the headaches and to do whatever he tells it. And the interviewer asks if the applicant is ready to marry it. Maybe here, if you see, the woman is called as an it, as if an object and not as a person, as if this is a business deal. It is guaranteed to shut your eyes at the end and dissolve of sorrow. Now that same woman will be with the man even after he dies. Till he shuts his eyes means till he dies. And then dissolve of sorrow. Then she becomes distraught with his death. We make new stock from the salt. Now the interviewer is going on to say we make new stock from the salt. Now here new stock may be newly made goods. It could also mean stock as in chicken stock or vegetable stock for sauce as in cooking. For cooking we boil the vegetable or the chicken in the water, and that after boiling for some time it becomes a stock. Maybe that. And the salt might come from the dried tears unless it is the salt of the ordinary woman of the street. I notice you are stark naked. How about this suit, black and stiff but not a bad fit? Will you marry it? Now here the applicant is naked. The speaker observes that the applicant is naked as just like Adam. He is offered a black suit and asks if he wants to marry it again. This is the second time he is asked if he is going to marry it, and there is no answer for it. What is this suit? It is waterproof, shatterproof, proof against fire and bombs through the roof. Believe me, they will bury you in it. Now, the interviewer goes on to explain what kind of a suit it is. It is black and stiff, and it is waterproof. It is shatterproof, means it will not break, and it is proof against fire and bombs through the roof. That means this suit will protect him from fire and bombs also. And then the applicant will be buried in this suit when he dies. Now the head, excuse me, is empty. I have the ticket for that. Come here, sweetie, out of the closet. Well, what do you think of that? Naked as a paper to start, but in 25 years she will be silver, in 50 gold. A living doll everywhere you look. It can sew, it can cook, it can talk. Now the interviewer says the applicant's head is empty. Maybe he's talking about brain or mind, like the hand previously was empty. But the speaker has just the ticket for it. Just the ticket means he has just a solution for it. It is an idiom, as if saying a perfect solution for this problem. Now the interviewer calls out for a sweetie. He calls, come here, sweetie, out of the closet. Now here he calls out for a sweetie, maybe a woman, to come out of the closet, meaning show herself as if in business, and asks the applicant if he is satisfied with that. Is he satisfied with that woman? This woman is blank like a paper. Naked as a paper means blank like a paper, ready for anything. The interviewer says in 25 years it will be silver, and in 50 years it is gold. To specify silver and gold anniversary, means after marriage 25 years, silver anniversary and then gold anniversary. And a living doll, he explains her, she is a living doll, meaning she will be a plaything for him. And it can sew, it can cook, it can talk. He is saying it will do sewing, cooking as well as talking non-stop. See the repetition of the word talk. Then the interviewer, it works, there is nothing wrong with it. You have a hole, it's a poultice. You have an eye, it's an image. My boy, it's your last resort. Will you marry it? Marry it? Marry it? Now the interviewer is reassuring the applicant that there is nothing wrong with it. It does all the work. There is nothing wrong with this. You have a hole, it's a poultice. The interviewer reassures the applicant that if you are having a hole, then it will work as a poultice. Poultice means something to put over the hole to cover it, and if you bind it with a cloth, the wound will heal. That is called as a poultice. You have an eye, it's an image. That is how he is describing. My boy, the interviewer is reassuring. He is pressuring him, saying this is your last resort, this is your last chance. Will you marry it? Marry it? Marry it? And he is saying repetition again here, marry it. Will you marry it? He is asking again and again. This is about the poem, The Applicant. I hope this helped you, and I'll meet you with the new Sylvia Plath poem. Have a great day.